Hello everyone, Logan from Mage here, and it's been a while, but I'm here to talk about classic World of Warcraft. The desire for legacy servers have been abundant for years. There's no denying it. The private servers that came about as a result of this desire to go home is something to marvel at. I myself never played classic WoW, but I played the Burning Crusade a few weeks after it launched. Even though I never played it, there were enough attributes of classic WoW that made their way into the Burning Crusade that made me appreciate what they were. I've always wanted to see the Molten Core's current content, or brave the ruins of Ahn'Qiraj. I would play the trading card game and marvel at all the different bosses and read the strategy guides in awe. I was that drawn into it. Vanilla WoW must have really been a great time to be alive. Then came the news. Classic WoW servers. Holy shit, this is it. I got my chance. I'm so ready for this. I purchased a virtual ticket for BlizzCon just to play the short demo. It felt so right. I craved this old yet new version of my favorite game. Once the release date was announced, I put in my vacation time and waited. The day had come. Classic had dropped. I was prepared. I was ready. Me and the boys jumped on and immediately started leveling. It was immediately apparent the questing environment was so much more alive. Players asking for help, taking turns banging the quest mob. It felt like the world was brought back to Warcraft. One of the warriors I started questing with sent me goodies in the mail several days later because he remembered my name. In that first week, I got to level 45. It was good. Everything was really good. I struggled to get those last few levels. Life is time consuming, so I lost that leveling momentum. But when I first hit 60, I can't even begin to tell you the joy I felt. I had completed a part of something I wanted to do since I was 12. My family would experience bouts of poverty throughout my life, so playing WoW and daydreaming about it became the two options. Those summer days where me and my siblings would imagine how amazing it must have been to see Rag for the first time. We would admire the art of the trading cards. We would read through the strategy guides. I was on that path to fulfillment now. Next came the attuning and acquiring of best in slot pre-raid gear. Oh boy, and I must say, I'm so goddamn tired of Blackrock Depths. Let me tell you, I've run it at least a couple hundred times, but I got the fat loot, I got the good stuff, we braved the depths and did the quests. I was on cloud 9. I used this time to get my professions maxed and eventually got my epic mount shortly after Dire Maul came out. As anyone can tell you, PvP servers are where it's at. The true experience is being in constant danger of being butt-fucked by anyone and anything at any moment. So, when the honor system came out, it was a goddamn bloodbath. Giant fights of billions of players turned into more precise strikes on poor players at flight paths. It was cheesy, yeah. But hey, we had to get ready for the big one, the BGs, and by BGs, I mean Battlegrounds. And by Battlegrounds, I mean Alterac Valley. It was the optimal way to farm honor, and the game had been optimized to hell, where getting exalted with the factions didn't take as long. It was here I started to experience problems. You see, I mentioned optimization and things being optimized to hell. With the BGs came the bots. And some people said they were never there, but I've also had some people admit to using them. It was the only way to competitively rank with their live schedule. Each BG I could count at least 3 to 5 botters on my team alone. Another issue I stopped for is because of the faction imbalance. Many people decided to go Horde, and the queue times were unbearable. It started to consume my whole life. There's no reason to wait up to an hour for a game that I'll probably lose. However, our faction balance wasn't completely off the wall. I feel really bad for those servers who went from a 50-50 split to 9-10 or worse. That would make certain realms unplayable at certain factions, I'm sure. Since I couldn't compete with robots, I stopped ranking at rank 8, and I've never been in a BG since. The response to bots was almost non-existent. The outcry was loud, but bots continued to wreak havoc on many aspects of the game, most notably gold farming and battlegrounds. The economies of servers became very inflated as a result, but according to the forums, bots already existed in vanilla. They're called mages.
Just stop!
But really, they were not to the level of farming that the ones today can achieve. As the forums often put it, Classic was working as intended. Raids were quickly completed by guilds and soon everyone had their loot. People are just better at the game now. However, I will say that Classic is far more unforgiving. That mythic difficulty that we all remembered was definitely just because of the youth of the game. It's still there, but we just all got good. To be honest, I've raided Molten Core several times and not once did I ever see him go into his submerged phase. The first few raids were nostalgia manifest. It's still very enjoyable filling out that raid gear, but something new was on the horizon. Encourage, or AQ, we'll call it AQ. A quick story about this, I had no idea what the AQ event was back in the day. I knew about all the bosses in the raid, I just didn't know about the event before the raid. My old server Nazgrel started the AQ process in the Burning Crusade, and I had no idea what was going on. I was mesmerized. I made a shit video with my brother and our friend Alib about the whole thing. It was one of those moments of genuine amazement. Yeah, it was mesmerizing because I didn't know what was going on, but that was really fun. It's kind of fun not knowing. We need a little bit more mystery in games. There's something neat about this event on Nazgrel. It had some drama surrounding it. Turns out one of the groups working towards opening the gates ninja'd it from the others in the group. He was worried they would do it first or something, so he went ahead himself. I don't know. I'll leave the article in the description. It's funny, the whole time that was going on, we thought WoW was experiencing an extinction level event. Good times. So, this was going to happen again. The players of the servers would all fight to be the one and only Scarab Lord, quite possibly the most prestigious title in WoW and MMOs in general. The elite guards of the servers were already prepared. They had farmed some mats ahead of time, but certain things for the quest had to be fought for. And they were, with bots, and mass reporting. Entire guilds would sabotage by mass reporting soon-to-be Scarab Lords, and bots farmed in Silithith. Once AQ is opened, all that is left for Classic is Nax. Nax is something I want to do at least once, then who knows? We're almost done in vanilla. It's crazy. It's like something I thought about doing forever. I won't lie, some parts of vanilla made me very sad. I felt like I had deluded myself all this time, but I will say one thing. I had more fun in Classic WoW than any iteration of retail in a long time. There is still something special in this optimized to hell old game. There's still enough challenge, there's still the thriving community. The joy of progress is still there. We're just better gamers. And that's okay. I've fallen off of Classic quite a bit. I feel left behind. I still get on every so often. I feel like what Classic had to offer, I got to experience, and I'm thankful for that. It was a wonderful journey. I don't feel bad for liking an old game. With the end of vanilla approaching after Nax, I'm beyond excited for the possibility of the Burning Crusade servers. This would allow me to go home and experience some very powerful nostalgia. So, here's to hoping. In the end, was this long journey of Classic WoW worth it? It's easy. Classic WoW, 100%, was worth it. For the player, the community, hell, I'd say the franchise. What did it do right? It reminded us that in MMOs, content plus community is king. That putting a ton of time into something makes the reward feel that much better, especially when the reward is a legendary. That the world can be its own character. That Old things sometimes can really get something right. It also taught us what not to do. For example, not taking player knowledge into account, or assuming 15-year-old game systems would still hold up perfectly.
You think you do, but you don't.
It's not true, but not entirely inaccurate. We did want classic. We didn't know what we wanted was not exactly what it needed. No changes may have been a bit of a problem, but hey, now we know. Nothing was game-breaking in my opinion, but it was definitely not what we expected. However, despite all of this, it's been a blast. We all finally got that mythical taste of vanilla. I think Classic WoW did more things right than wrong. Who knew we could still learn about what makes a game great from a 15-year-old MMO? It's been fun, everyone, and I hope to see you in Outlands. Thanks for watching.